not telling the truth than playing games of tactics. So that is a scripted tactic to make them look like the victims. And see, we told you the Constitution's bad. We told you we need the tank. See, they want to kill us now. InfoWars has it on. He didn't say in the comments they could be making. I'm not saying that, but obviously anybody could be doing it anonymously. No. They're not saying that. They're not saying that. They're saying it's on the site. They want to kill us. Oh boy, you need that, Alex J, kind of a terrorist. All right, I'm gonna stop ranting. You can finish up, David, and go to the state rep. God bless you all. Infowars.com.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah, we're going to go to State Representative Matt Shea right now, and of course, we reached out to the sheriff. We asked for his comment. I think that video was first put up on the Nightly News on Friday. Then, of course, it was posted the next day on YouTube. That was when Mikhail did the article on Saturday. They didn't put up that video until the following Monday. They didn't respond to us. They posted on Facebook. We put his responses in. We put his video in. We will have him on to talk to us if he's willing to come on and talk to us. But we wanted to get Representative Shea's comments on this because the sheriff said that this was taken out of context. Representative Shea, do you believe that this is out of context? Give us the context of what's going on there in Spokane County.
Well, first of all, in Spokane Valley, Washington, we're one of the most conservative, constitutionally minded areas in this part of the state of Washington, number one. Number two, the fact that they said this was taken out of context, there is no situation, there is no context where this statement would be justified. She asked him an open-ended question, this deputy, and the deputy responded immediately with constitutionalists. And that people that were hoarding guns and weapons. And thank God the people here in Spokane Valley, Washington, do hoard guns and weapons. Obviously, there's a good reason for them to do so now. And the fact that this guy said this, and it is now, I think, the smoking gun of what we've all kind of believed, that there was an agenda, especially by the Southern Poverty Law Center, to demonize constitutionalists, and that it was bleeding over into some areas of law enforcement. This is the smoking gun, in my opinion. And I think
we've seen that over and over again. We've had the scenarios from them. We've had the literature from the Southern Poverty Law Center. They're the ones going in and propagandizing the sheriff's deputies, the police chiefs, the police officers. They're the ones who are the front for the federal government, but they're also getting these talking points, talking about constitutionalists. They're also getting that from the federal government. His response, he was talking about how his MRAP was going to protect them from gunfire. She said, well, why do you need that here in this small town? And he said, well, we've got constitutionalists and people with guns and weapons. In other words, that's the context. There isn't any other context. And as you point out, why would there ever be any context that would make it okay for the police to come after people because they're bitter clingers to the Constitution? Is that a crime now in the United States?
Apparently, based on some of these statements, but I want to be really clear about this particular sheriff. This is not the first time that people have had problems in this area with this sheriff. He did have the Southern Poverty Law Center in a few years ago to train his officers. There was a huge outcry in our community, and he backpedaled very quickly on this, but very clearly their training has taken root with some officers and some deputies. What I do want to point out, though, is that a lot of the deputies, the rank and file deputies in the Spokane County Sheriff's Department, do not agree with the direction that this sheriff is going. They didn't agree with the statements made by that deputy. And in fact, in this last campaign season, the Deputies Association did not endorse this sheriff. They went against him, and part of the reason is because they don't like this direction where he's taking this attitude against law-abiding citizens that he's taking and fostering this attitude among his department.
We're seeing that happen in a lot of different places. I mean, we saw that when we had that shooting out in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where they shot that homeless man on the hill, and everybody saw the video footage of that. Then it came to light that Albuquerque had one of the highest per capita shootings of any police department across the country. Yet they had a new curriculum that they put into their state police academy. And one of the longtime instructors there said, I am not going to teach that new curriculum because that's a shoot-first curriculum. So there's a lot of people from veterans on down who are not going along with this new script, with these new rules of engagement, if you will. I want to talk to you right after the break. We've got to go to a break, but I want to talk to you also about these comments that were made. This came up in the interview last night that we have up on Infowars.com at a Central Valley High School that the sheriff made, where he says, with a strike of a pen, I can affect your freedom. We're going to be right back with Representative Matt Shea from Washington State.
It's very easy to be a criminal. All you need to burglarize a home is one simple household tool, a pair of scissors. If your home security system can be compromised by a criminal using scissors, then you're making it easy for them. Almost every home security system, even those sold by big-name companies, has a weakness: the phone line. You shell out $1,500, get locked into a long-term contract, and think you're safe. But a burglar can destroy your alarm in seconds with one snip. And when a burglar cuts your phone line, you're defenseless. Simply Safe Home Security is the smarter choice. Built by Harvard engineers, Simply Safe uses a wireless connection to call the cops. Scissors can't cut it, and that means your home stays safe. 24/7 professional monitoring is under $15 a month with no contract. Simply Safe Home Security keeps you safer than the other guys for half the cost. Protect your home with the alarm you can trust. Simply Safe. Go to simplysafedefense.com now for an exclusive 10% offer. That's simplysafedefense.com.
Big business has discovered the preparedness market, and that makes it difficult to know where to go and who to trust. MyPatriotSupply.com is owned and operated by patriots just like you. Has the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more. MyPatriotSupply.com has old-fashioned values and the absolute best customer service in the industry. Look for the deal of the day. Unique, affordable survival supplies that fit anyone's budget. Get same-day shipping on all orders and free shipping on orders over $49. Call 866-229-0927, 866-229-0927, or visit MyPatriotSupply.com for emergency preparedness, self-reliance, and food independence. Shop with a name you know and a name you can trust. Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Sold out for weeks due to the difficult and extensive proprietary process behind its creation, the exclusive InfoWars Life Secret 12 formulation is now back in stock in the last limited shipment of 2014. The most bioactive form that has been created with our proprietary process. This ultra-clean vitamin B12 nutraceutical has been carefully crafted and developed over the last 2 years and is based on cellular science of how your body actively absorbs essential nutrients. Secret 12 is taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Vitamin B12 deficiency is linked to scores of serious problems. And Secret 12 is a fusion of 2 organic proprietary forms of vitamin B12, bringing you a true nutraceutical quality vitamin B12. Secret 12. Secret 12 is an excellent Christmas gift and is tailor-made to boost your New Year's resolutions. Supplies of Secret 12 are very limited. Secure yours today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
Digestive health is key to wellness, and Pro-EM1 is the key to digestive health. Pro-EM1 is a daily liquid probiotic that improves food absorption and supports weight loss by removing toxins from your system. Recommended by doctors, Pro-EM1 is 100% natural, organic, non-GMO, wheat, soy, gluten, and dairy-free. Call us today at 888-611-8025 or visit ProEM1.com to save over $25 on your order. That's 888-611-8025 or PROEM1.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight here in the studio in Austin on this Wednesday, December 17th, 2014. I have on the line with me Representative Matt Shea out of Washington State. We're talking to him because of the comments a sheriff's deputy made last week about his MRAP, saying that he needed the MRAP to protect him from constitutionalists, people, with lots of weapons and ammunition. These are straight out of the talking points of the Southern Poverty Law Center, and as Representative Shea has told us, to no surprise, this sheriff has a history of bringing in the Southern Poverty Law Center. But Representative Shea, you said that there were people there in the Sheriff's Department, rank and file deputies, that had a problem, as well as the public, with him bringing in the Southern Poverty Law Center. Tell us a little bit about that. How did they blow the whistle on that to the public?
They absolutely did. And actually, I attended the training personally because I am on the Southern Poverty Law Center's dirty dozen of the most dangerous state legislators in the country. And I take that as a badge of honor.
Congratulations. That's good.
Yeah. So I attended the training. I wanted to see with my own eyes and for myself what they were actually training. And a lot of their training was calling the Constitution Party, We the People, Tea Partiers, terrorists. And actually, this sheriff had his picture on the bottom corner of the slide presentation, and then later tried to say he didn't know what was in the training and tried to backpedal, which just didn't seem correct. And one of the more frightening parts of the training was when they put the picture up of the leader of the We the People movement out of Pullman and called him a domestic terrorist when he'd never been charged with a crime at all, ever, and put his picture on the screen.
We've shown a video that was taken at one of these presentations a long time ago. Alex has put it in the documentaries we've shown over and over again on the news, on the radio, where they're training officers and telling them that the founding fathers of America were terrorists. So, we don't need to go any further than that. If they're calling them terrorists, and there's the article right up there, DOD training manual, extremists, founding fathers would not be welcome in today's military. That's where it's coming from. It's coming from Washington. So don't feel bad that they single you out. You're in good company. You're right there with Thomas Jefferson.
Well, I like I said, I take it as a badge of honor. I'm a combat veteran. I'm pro-life. I'm pro-Ron Paul. I'm pro-Constitution. I'm a gun owner. And I'm also a constitutional attorney as well. So I think I hit everything on their list. So, we should be proud of that, because that's what made America great, was being a God-fearing, self-reliant, freedom-loving person and believing that the Constitution means what it says. I think we have to ask this sheriff and anybody that tries to support him and his policies, why aren't you a constitutionalist? Why don't you believe that the Constitution means what it says? Why don't you believe in the rule of law? Because that's what constitutionalism is. It's people that support the Constitution of the United States, the idea that we have inalienable rights given to us by God, and also that we are a culture that believes strongly in the rule of law. Why don't you believe that? I think the sheriff has to answer that. And his entire video was nothing but a deflection and trying to lay the blame on other people, and really, very candidly, trying to bully and intimidate, which this sheriff has a past history of doing with a lot of citizens in our community.
I want to go to your comments about his appearance at Central Valley High School on October 20th. Was that October 20th of this year?
Yeah, October 20th, 2014, there was a debate at Central Valley High School Government Club put on, and he said the following. This is a quote. This is a transcript from a video of the debate, and he said, quote, at the end of this debate as his closing statement, "I, with the strike of a pen, can affect your freedom. I can also take your life in certain circumstances."
Wow.
Now, you even if that's true, why would you say it? I mean, and why would you say it to a group of high school students?
Well, you're intimidating people. I mean, that's been a lot of what's going on with the new types of attitudes that we're seeing coming out of law enforcement. An in-your-face intimidation to say, I can affect your freedom and I can take your life in certain circumstances. That's really chilling.
It is chilling, especially in light of this comment by this deputy in regards to the MRAP. But it was interesting, a year prior at the same debate, so this is a year before this same sheriff called out two Spokane Valley City Council members as being constitutionalists and therefore dangerous people, and that we should vote against them because they're constitutionally minded. And he actually said that in front of those kids, and those two particular city council people won, but challenged him afterwards on why he felt the need to say that and call them dangerous.
He really is not only drinking the Kool-Aid, but passing it on to other people there when he's talking about this constitutionalist as being the enemy. Now, of course, in that very long video, he says, we took an oath to the Constitution. I'm a constitutionalist. Really? When you say that, when you call people out and say they need to be opposed because they're constitutionalists, say that people who identify themselves as being for the Constitution are going to shoot you with their weapons and ammunition that they've stockpiled. We're going to be right back with Representative Matthew Shea. I want to also talk to him about the recent legislation that happened in the last election regarding gun transfers there in the state of Washington.
We're on the march.